So this topic just came up in the series engine group that I run about which way around the head gasket goes on the engine. Now, it is possible to put it on backwards, and that's originally what I thought was wrong with this motor when it kept overheating. Well, it turned out that it was just coolant passages were blocked in the back, but it was not the head gasket on backwards. Now, going back through my old videos, I realized I never showed exactly what I meant by that, so I'm going to go ahead right now. So this is the old copper gasket I pulled out of this motor. Now this one, it says made in England and petrol on it, which goes ahead and tells you this side it goes up. I thought it actually had stamped this side up. Maybe it has this side down. I guess not. But this is how it sits in the engine, lined up the same way. If you look, these are all coolant passages. And the ones in the back here are opened up, and the ones in the front here are all kind of closed off. Same goes for that coolant passage versus that one. Yeah, that one. That's a head bolt hole. That one's restricted. What that does, well, when they made the castings for the engine, these all had to have cores in them, and in order to get the sand out, it's easier to make holes regularly along the whole thing. It's a lot easier than doing it asymmetrically. So what they do in the gasket, they restrict the holes because the water just gets pumped right into the block here, and then it comes out of the head right about here. Actually, it literally gets pumped into the block through that passage there, into the bottom, and it comes out the top up here. Now, if you don't have those restrictions in the front of the engine, here and right about there, the water will just circulate straight up in the head and out, and won't actually circulate well in the back. Now that'll cause the back end of the motor to overheat a lot faster, and can cause all sorts of other fun problems and weirdness. So the restrictions in the front force that water all the way to the back before it comes out the top. Now that's all nice if you've got a copper head gasket. It's got stuff written on there. You just follow the directions and it goes on easily. Trouble is, when you get a composite gasket, this is a bare mock gasket. I got two when I redid the engine in case I had to change it again for some reason. And basically, like if I got down to Quadstate and the head gasket completely blew out, I'd be able to change it in the parking lot and drive all the rest of the way home anyways, without having to get a tow from Dayton. So anyways, I've got this gasket, but there are no markings on which side goes up. On this one at least, the solid connection between the bores goes up, but I can't say that's true for all composite gaskets. So what you look for the coolant passages in between the push rod holes. The ones in the front here all are small, and the ones in the back are big, again to force that water all the way to the back before coming out and going to the radiator. Same with this hole. You can see it's a lot smaller. Now this is what I want to show you. Okay, so let's say that's on the block, and this is your gasket. It is possible to put it on backwards. As you see, it's a nearly symmetrical gasket. There's only like one little triangle hole here. I'm not even sure that if that does anything, what that does. But yeah, it is very easy to put the head gasket on wrong. And what that does is, again, if you don't have any blockages anywhere, the coolant wants to flow through the front and out instead of circulating the back. Well, now you've restricted the back, and it won't flow through it for anything. It's basically just pot luck if it gets any circulation. That's why I thought my head gasket was on backwards. And, well, it turned out it was similar to that. There was sand in between the block and the head. There was like sand, rusty crud that was blocking off those holes. So all it had to circulate were one or two of these big holes. Actually, I think the back one was blocked too. And these small holes in the front. So that's basically how you can get the head gasket on backwards and how to avoid doing that. If you like what I'm doing, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If I missed anything, please leave it in the comments below. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. So this topic, if I could talk today,